I'm staying the course. Without strong men, no family can thrive. We the backbone of the world, keeping hope alive.
We say shalom, 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 shalom to everyone in the Strongmen Club. Welcome to the Strongmen Club. We got a lot to cover. We do not have time at all to pause. So my name is your host, Minister Yeshaban Loya. Behind that microphone, we with GYC Hebrew Congregation. We teach our men on how to be men and how to make better choices in life. So thank you for joining us today in our Strongmen Club with a very important topic where we will be discussing 7 ways a woman dress that could tell you if she's a good or a bad woman. So I know you brothers are excited. So let's get to it. 7 ways a woman dress that could tell you all about her character. All right, get me 2 Kings 2:2, as we always do, to open up.
Thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man.
Right. So, as we always read in Strongman Club, what we show our men is how to show yourself a man, how to be decisive, how to be strong, how to take the right decisions at the right time. When you meet a woman in the street, if you can read the spiritual language, you can tell that what kind of woman she is before you even would approach that one. The book of Ecclesiastes 19 and 29.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 19, verse 20 and 30. A man may be known for his book, and one that has understanding by his countenance. When thou meetest him, remains unheard, and turns laughter, and gain show what he is.
The way a person dressed can show if they have understanding or if they're a fool, if they're a good woman or if they're a bad woman, if they're a righteous woman or if they're a godly woman. Okay? You have to understand attire a lot of time reflect what's going on inside of the person's mind. Get me Proverbs 7 verse 10. I'm going to give you another one. A woman with the attire of an harlot. How did they know that back then? Do we have a special attire that harlots wear? No. But the way a woman dress could say if she's a harlot or not. But this is the problem in the society. A lot of men complaining about, we can't find good women, but a lot of time the flag is right there. Or they end up with a bad woman, she's loud, she's this. They're always talking bad about black women online. But who tell them to choose a certain kind of woman by the way a woman dress? You should know if you should approach her to avoid her. Because the Bible says men attire or a woman attire can tell if that person have understanding. Because what you don't understand, what's outside is a reflection of what's inside. Let's get to it. So, this revelation is dangerous because most men don't read it. Most women don't understand it. And many relationships fail because the signs were ignored. Clothing exposed discipline, morality, loyalty, and intentions without a single word spoken. Yes, it does. A growing number of marriages and relationships collapse because of attitude. But not because of attitude, but because the spirit behind the attire was never ever discerned. Appearance become entertainment, identity become costume, fashion become rebellion. For the last 40 years, from the 80s to social media culture, identity has been lost in labels, brands, aesthetics, and trends. And now entire generations are confused about femininity, discipline, loyalty, and modesty. As we can see, Samson lost his strength, not because Delilah was beautiful, but because he ignored the signs of her spirit. He fell for her appearance, but not for wisdom. The same mistake happened with David. He let the appearance of a woman make him do what he was not supposed to do. And it's no different today. Many men are falling into bad relationships because they ignore the very sign that's in front of them, the first, which is how a woman is dressed. Today, men completely disregard that. They think it's all about their heart because they've been taught it's all about their heart. But they confused you, they lied to you, they tell you it's all about what's in your heart. But what they don't tell you is what's in your heart always come out on your skin. Always show on your face, always show on your on how you talk. Because let me tell you something, your body, your eyes, your face, your nose, your hand, your gestures, your head, it's all a TV screen. It's just a screen. It shows what's inside of you. It shows what's inside of your heart. Okay, if you dress like a harlot, you can't tell me what's in your heart is God. Okay, you can't tell me what's in your heart is the Most High when you dress like a harlot. No, what's in your heart is whoredom, right? That's all that's in there, and this is why it's popping out. It's showing in the screen. Be mindful of those things. Don't be like, oh yeah, she could be a good woman although she dressed that way. Well, I'm not saying no, but one thing I can tell you, her body is simply a screen projecting what's possibly inside of her heart. So now, the first type of woman we're gonna meet on a day-to-day basis is the careless woman. What is the careless woman? It's a woman that don't care about hygiene, she don't care about fashion, and she doesn't care about how people view her in public, right? She would just go to Walmart with a pajama. She just leave her house without combing her hair. She put a bonnet on. You know, she just leave the house. That type of woman is a careless woman. So what can we learn from the careless woman? Get me the book of Proverbs 24 verse 30 and 30. Bring it out.
Of the slothful and word of understanding.
Keep going.
And lo, it was all grown over with thorns, and nettles covered the face thereof. And the stone wall thereof was broken down.
Keep reading.
Then I saw and considered it well. I looked upon it and received the instruction.
Right, so he went around the garden of the person that is a slothful. Meaning when you go around someone who is slothful, when you go in their homes, when you go in their job, their business, the way they are, because slothfulness is just being careless. The way you see they comport themselves in society, when you go to their homes, you most likely will see the same thing. The house is dirty, there's pizza under the couch that's been there for months. You understand? Their businesses are all dirty. Everything is dirty. Because, as I say, what's happening inside of your mind, if you have a slothful mind, it will reflect on the outside. So a type of woman like that, when you see a woman that's slothful in the streets, most likely she's going to be the type of woman that don't like to clean. The good news about, the pros about a careless woman, a lot of time they are easygoing and they will cooperate with you, right? A lot of time. But the cons, they are lazy, they are unclean, and they're neglectful. They're not gonna pay their bills on time. You know, they're the type of woman that wait for you to do everything for them, right? They're not gonna do it by themselves. So that's a slothful woman. So before you go ahead and talk to that woman, you're gonna have to weigh the pros and cons. Easygoing, cooperative. When I say cooperative, I mean easygoing. They'll work with you in something. But a lot of times they're lazy, unclean, and neglectful. The next type of woman you will meet is the sophisticated woman. A sophisticated woman is a woman with excess jewelry, heavy makeup, brands, luxury. So let me have Isaiah 3 verse 16.
The Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with with their feet.
Right. If you keep reading that verse, you'll see the daughters of Zion were very luxurious with chains in their feet, scarlet and beautiful things. But that also comes with something. When a woman is very luxurious with a lot of jewelry, a lot of makeup, a lot of brand, you got to know the Bible called them haughty. Haughty means prideful. So what does that mean? A woman that is sophisticated, oftentimes the pro, she can represent you well in society. If you want a woman by your side, something like that, if you're wealthy, you know, she'll represent you because she's always smell good and stuff like that. But the cons, she'll be prideful, she'll be rebellious, she'll be self-centered, she'll be masculine and uncooperative, she'll be manipulative too. And I'm gonna show you that most women that love luxury, they're very manipulative. Get me the book of Revelation 17 and 4. The pro is that they can represent you well. Oh, that's this brother's wife, man. Look good, right? But at the same time, they come with a baggage of things that you might have to consider, right? Again, I'm not telling brothers choose or not, but listen to the pros and cons. You make your own choice. 17 and 4. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 17, verse 4.
Bring it out.
The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abomination and filthiness of her fornication.
Right. So when a woman is full of, you know, decked with gold, precious stone, you can see that the Bible says she have a golden cup in her and full of abomination and filthiness of her fornication. Oftentimes, beautiful women always fall into all kind of promiscuity. Why? Because they have the opportunity. They have so many men approaching them. So a lot of time they end up being with rich guys, sleeping here and there, you know, manipulating men, making. But they realize that they can use their body and their fashion and their beauty to make money. So this is where it gets twisted with luxurious women. You see a woman always dressing fancy, most likely she'll get a lot of opportunity to cheat, a lot of opportunity with which guy, a lot of time that they will fall in that abomination. As you can see in that woman, her hand was full of abomination, working a lot of wickedness and filthiness of her fornication, using sex as a way to corrupt and make money. And that's how she get all that gold. And that's how she get all that scarlet color and purple and array. Because she was selling abomination in sex. That's what the fornication is. So a lot of time when you're dealing with a sophisticated woman, that's what you might fall to, right? Get me the next type of woman you'll meet. So the pro for a sophisticated woman, if she is righteous, okay. By the way, I can tell you, a woman doesn't necessarily mean if she's luxurious or she's that style, that means she's that particular person, right? Women have different style, but we're talking about generally speaking, okay? Generally speaking. Because you can find a woman that's luxurious, but she's also a good. Okay, that can happen, but the majority are not. When we say general, it means the majority are. Especially in this time we live in. So the next type of woman is you'll see out there is a tomboy woman. A tomboy is a woman that dress and behave like a man. You'll see them around there, you know, dragging their pants like they're a man or, you know, talking like a man. So let's see what the Bible say about the tomboy type. Romans 1 verse 26. Now there's tomboys that are not homosexual, but the majority of them are, right? They are dealing with thinking they're men being in a relationship with women. The book of Romans 1 verse 26. Then you'll skip to 28 to 30. 26 skips to 28 and 30. Go ahead. Bring it out.
The Most High gave them up unto vile affections, for even the women did change the natural use to that, unto that which is against nature.
Right. So even the women change their natural use. Now you got the woman trying to be a man, trying to hold the house down. Right. They change their natural use. Now let's skip to verse 28.
28. Even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, the Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind.
So the first thing, the first
Obedient.
right, the first thing the Most High gave them is the reprobate mind, meaning they're very stubborn, right? They cannot change their mind. Read on verse 29.
Verse 29. Being filled with unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whispers,
30.
backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventions of evil things, disobedient of parents.
You see that? The Bible tells you the minute a woman start dealing with women like themselves, trying to change their youth, trying to change their identity, trying to be a man when they're not, the Bible gives a list of things they become. Reprobate mind, feel of unrighteousness, they feel of fornication, sex, sexual, going to do all kind of sexual deviancy, wickedness, covetousness, okay, trying to steal people's stuff, maliciousness, full of malign tricks, full of envy, murder, okay, debate. We see them what we call them tomboys. They're always trying to debate like they're men. Deceit, okay, they're always tricking somebody. Malignity, whisperers, okay, backbiters, haters of the Most High, despiteful, proud, boasters. They're boasting. They're like a man, right? A lot of times these tomboys, they're like a man. Yeah, they think they're men. They're working. They'll even move like men, trying to fight like a man. Boasters. Like when you see them, it's like they're more men than men. Boasting like out there are men. Inventors of evil things, meaning what evil things they invent? Them tomboys and studs, right? They be inventing false private, men penis, just to strap-ons and all that to be with other women so they could pretend to be men. That's what the Bible is going into. Once you leave that lifestyle, you are inventors of evil things. Now you start inventing wicked things. Disobedient to parents, yes, a lot of them, what happened? A lot of them, they leave their homes because their parents telling them don't get in that lifestyle. No, they leave their parents. They won't listen to their parents. So that's the problem with a tomboy woman. A lot of time they are, what we're looking at, they're very masculine spirit. They're stubborn. They're rebellious. They're confused in identity. So don't look at a woman and be like, she can be a good woman. She just like a man, but she can be a good woman. She can. But what the Bible is really telling is stands. The majority of them are not, especially if they're not willing to change. Especially too if they're dealing with that lesbianism stuff, right? So the next type of woman you will meet is the church girl. What is a church girl? The church girl is a woman that look modest in public but mixes worldly behavior privately. So the church girl, especially nowadays, when you look her in the street, she'll look okay, but she'll mix worldly behaviors privately. And sometimes she'll mix her dress too. You'll see her with a long sleeve but with a tight pants showing her behind. You'll see her with a nice dress, that closes her cleavage, but the dress is short. Something like that. So she's like a mix of modesty in the world. That's what church girl is nowadays, right? So I want you to go out there, go in the world. You'll see a lot of church girl, right? You'll see them with long sleeve, but then they pants on. It's like they're doing God, they're doing Satan. They're playing God, they're playing Satan at the same time. That's a church girl. So what is the pro of it? Let's get that. James 1 verse 8 about the church girl. James 1 verse 8 before we break it down.
We get the book of James chapter 1 verse 8. James chapter 1 verse 8. Quick. The book of James chapter 1 verse 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Right, so a double-minded person is unstable in all their ways. So this is the thing with the church girl. They're not sure if they should be on God's team or Satan team. So a lot of time, that's what the church created anyway. because the church, you know, you kind of go to church, but you kind of in the world, right? So they're not fully in. So this is why when you go to a Christian church, you'll see people with dresses short. You'll see they have a dress that lead all the way to the thigh. You'll see cleavage out there. You'll see them. There is a form of godliness, but they really deny the Most High. I actually have a let me get that. I think in Titus. Get me Titus. Verse 16.
Verse 16.
Go ahead.
They profess that they know the Most High, but in works they deny Him, being abominable, disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate.
Right. So the church girl, oftentimes, what's gonna happen to the church girl? She's unstable. She's double-minded. She's saying she serves God, but in works, the way she dressed, the way she talk, it's just really a little bit better than a street girl. But still, when it comes for her to tell her, hey, you know, the most I don't want you to put your cleavage out, they'll still be the kind of girl that say, man, listen, bro, I you know, God never say this. Where's the verse? They'll be fighting with you. And even if you show them verse, that's not what it means. You understand? Those kind of girls are very double-minded. They're secretly rebellious. And a lot of times, they'll be the one that cheat on you. You'll be surprised. The church girl is the one that's gonna cheat on you. Can you believe that? Why is that? Because church girls, they're living a double life. A life where they're trying to please the church. At the same time, they know they have that worldly mentality. So a lot of time when they live in confusion like that, they'll most likely cheat and regret cheating, because that's not really what they want to do, but they will end up cheating on you because they're not really strong in the truth. They don't really have a morality. They'll be pulled by Satan, ended up being unfaithful. A lot of time they have a feminist spirit, or in the Bible they call them Jezebel spirit. Jezebel was a woman in the truth, but it was a church girl too, right? Being an Israelite woman, but wicked at the same time, being half and half. So those type of women, you might think they are good because they're dressed like church girl, but they might be your worst nightmare. A church girl, I can tell you that. Okay, so you better be careful with a church girl, because you'll think they're serving God, but they're denying men works. They're not willing to do what God said. Because I met one church girl one time, and she go to church all the time. And I say, you know, according to the Bible, you cannot wear pants. Deuteronomy 20:25. She's like, if I can't wear pants, then I'm going to hell then. She said, I'm going to hell if I can't wear pants. What kind of person that serve God say things like that? But a lot of these church girls, they're really not about God in the Bible. They're just doing it. This is why most hypocrites live in the church. They'll pretend they are something they are really not. They don't want to read. Okay, the next type of woman is a gothic woman. What is a gothic woman? It's a woman that loves dark colors, dark tone, and dark expression. So a lot of time they even have dark makeup. So again, this is not in one day, you'll notice that. But some women, they like dark expression. So get me the book of Sirach, 13 verse 25. 13 verse 25. Verse 25. Bring it out.
And merry heart make cheerful countenance.
Right, a heavy countenance make a heart heavy. So when somebody is dressing in all black and almost all their style is gothic, it shows that they have a heavy countenance. They have some sadness inside of them, right? A lot of time, you know, the pros about a gothic woman, She'll be quiet, reserved. She'll try to avoid conflicts as much as she can. Not all of them, but most of them, right? But the cons of a Gothic woman that love to dress in all dark clothes, a lot of time they'll be cold, they'll be emotionally distant, they'll be masculine, and they'll be uncompromising. Uncompromising meaning what? They tend to wanna be maybe they've been hurt, so they don't take time to fix things. And in a heartbeat, they'll be emotionally distant with you. They'll be cold from any situation, don't want to talk to you. So a lot of time you'll see a lot of these women, their heart tend to be reflect on their body, and they tend to wear dark clothing because inside of them there's a sorrow, there's a pain, they need help, right? So a lot of time, they'll be cold and emotionally distant too, right? But they're most of the time quiet, reserved, and avoid conflicts. But when it's time to compromise and things like that, to do, because their heart have been closed, there's darkness in their heart, right? So be mindful of that. And the sixth woman is a free-spirited woman. What is this free-spirited woman? It's a woman that have no limits, revealing clothing, party life mentality, right? So these women don't care about how they dress. They'll go in the streets with short shorts, booty shorts, crop tops. They don't care what they wear. Okay, so that's the free-spirited woman. Get me Sirach 25 verse 25.
Let's get to Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 verse 25. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman laboring to gather abroad.
Go ahead.
If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill to force, and let her go.
Right. Get me Proverbs 7 and 10 again. All right. So the Bible says these kind of women, once they get that liberty, it's like a water you let loose. Okay, go ahead.
The book of Proverbs chapter 7
Verse 10. 7 and 10.
The book of Proverbs chapter 7 verse 10. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire from harlot and subtle of heart.
Subtle of heart, read on.
Verse 11. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house.
Okay. So when you meet a free-spirited woman, it's a woman, her feet abide not in her house. She's always partying. She's always traveling with girls. She's always going new places, to the club, right? She's loud. She's stubborn, meaning she don't listen to no men. Nobody, if you tell her dress that way, nah, man, I don't want to dress. No men tell me what to do. No men tell me what to wear. And a lot of women these days, those are the free-spirited women. You meet that type of women with booty short, don't think you're going to change her. She's like, that's what I used to wear. That's why I'm going to die. You understand? She's loud, she's stubborn, her feet abide not in her house. Okay. Read verse 12 right quick.
Now in the streets and life and wait at every corner.
You see that? She's in the street. What's she looking for? She's looking for men. Because a free-spirited woman, a lot of time they lose women. Right? They lose. You understand? So they just go ahead and okay, they just go ahead and open up to every man. So you trying to be with that woman, don't be surprised you catch her with Rahim. You know she was a free-spirited woman. You know she was a loose woman. You understand? Oftentimes a woman that's have no shame to go out there with booty short, showing her breast, showing her body, bro. Why are you with this woman? And this is the problem we have with a lot of men. You think she's a good woman by looking at how she does things, and how you gonna expect her to be a wife, bro? And then we sitting here like dummies talking about there's no good woman. But I can guarantee you, most men, they fall for the free-spirited woman. Most men, not as soon as they see her flesh, her body, little short, that's the woman they wanna be with. But then surprise, she go to the club, she don't listen. The Bible said the woman with the attire of a harlot, that's the free spirited woman, right? She will do you dirty, bro. She will cheat on you. She'll be with every guy. She'll be impudent. She'll cheat and tell you, you know, she don't care because she's free spirited. She's not trying to be a wife. And the last type of women we have finally is the modest woman. Get me the book of, and there's a problem with modest women too. You thought the modest woman was spared? No. A modest woman is a woman that's fully feminine, disciplined, and not excessive. But get me Deuteronomy 28:56. Now, a modest woman doesn't mean she's perfect. It's just in her dress and her mind. She's disciplined, okay? She dressed well. She don't show no cleavage. Her clothes below knees. You're not gonna see under her armpits. You're not gonna see flesh and clothes that show all the way to her thigh. Her body is fully covered, which is great. But there's also a problem with oftentimes modest woman. Deuteronomy 28:56. As in everybody got flaws. It's not because you're modest that means you're perfect. Especially in dress. Go ahead.
In my veins, unshakable force, guided by the scriptures. I'm staying the course. Without strong men, no family can thrive.
Right. So modesty, the core about modesty, when you meet a modest woman, she'll be very frugal, stable, disciplined, hold the house together. Right. Those are great. But the cons of a modest woman, a lot of time they have high expectation. As you can see here, the woman was tender, delicate. Those women were keeping the laws. You know, they were luxury. They had everything. They were modest, right? But at the same time, which would not venture to set their sole of their foot up on the ground. So women that are modest, they are more demanding. What does that mean, demanding? So they expect way more from a man. I'm gonna give you a good example. You see, there's certain type of women out there. They are so conservative. A woman that's modest is also a very conservative woman. She's not out there. She's not messing around. She don't have time to play games. She's modest. She's disciplined. That also leave her vulnerable to not being able to compromise or not finding a right man, because a lot of times these women are very upright. Meaning if things don't go the way it should, the right way, a lot of times they don't give no mercy. Right? So they would expect a lot from the husband. High expectation, demanding, and even perfectionists. A lot of them become perfectionists. So they want them and to be perfect at everything. So be mindful of a modest woman too. Because what you're gonna realize, the more you know, the more demand. Let's say the woman that come in this truth, right? If you are a Christian woman, there's certain things your wife is asking you today. She wouldn't be asking you if she was Christian. But the fact that you're in the truth, now she's gonna hold you to a higher standard, especially of morality. She'll hold you to higher responsibility because now she know better and she know you know better. So she'll literally hold you accountable to that. So that's what that means. She's demanding. She'll want you. She'll push you to be perfect. But a lot of time that can turn and backfire because a modest woman have no chill, right? So that being said, get me Sirach 26:14 for the modest woman. But overall, and I'm gonna let you guys choose which one you guys think is your best style among the sisters, right? But go ahead before I drop that question. Sirach 26:14.
Chapter 26, you say?
Yes, verse 14. Go ahead, bring it out.
Verse 14. A silent, loving woman is her, and there's nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
A mind well instructed. So that's a modest woman. Her mind is well instructed. You know, a lot of times she knows when to be quiet too. That's part of modesty. you know. But again, they'll hold you to a higher standard. They'll want more from you, because like your wives would say, you're the man of the house. You know, you're responsible. So they'll put the charge where it belongs. And a lot of men, if you're not ready to take responsibility and to walk right according to the Lord, you cannot be with a modest woman, because she'll make sure you are right. Okay, so those are the 7 women we see today. It's the careless woman, the sophisticated woman, the tomboy, the church girl, the modest woman, no, the gothic woman, the free-spirited woman, and then we have the modest woman. So what we gotta see today, we're giving you good advice and personality tests we've been doing. So a lot of people have been reading relationship books, therapy, dating rule, but none of these work because they don't fix the spirit behind their appearance. So it's not about how much you read, how much counseling, how much personality tests you do, right? A lot of time men do personality tests and read books and get coaching from different people to get a good woman. It's not about that. The first thing you need to notice is how a woman is dressed. Okay, because you can't pass that. If you pass that, you already failed whatever else you're gonna do. Look at the woman you want to approach and be able to read her. This is why we're having that lesson. We want you to go. In fact, this is gonna be my assignment, and next week I hope we can talk about it. My assignment this week, I want you guys to go out there and look at a woman and kind of describe her by how you see her. Right? This is gonna be my assignment to you. So you need to go out there and see, and this is not only good for women in relationship, this is good overall. That helps you read people. When you see somebody in the street, you know, especially there's a pattern on how they're dressed, right? That could really help you read that person and say, that's the kind of person that person is. If your girl, if your man, your boy, right, bring a girlfriend to your house as a father, you need to be able to just look at her and be, son, this is the kind of woman she is. This is, and your son will be amazed. Like, Dad, how do you know she's that kind of woman? By how you look at her, you'll be able to read everything. So as we can say, there's a wise man that once said, clothing is the silent philosophy, prophecy of behavior. Right? What the wise men say, clothing is the silent prophecy of behavior. Clothing is the silent prophecy of behavior. And there's another man that wrote, before you know a heart, study its habits. Before you know a heart, study its habits. Right? So before you know somebody's heart, look at the person, study their habits and how they dress. Right? Follow the pattern. Okay, so today we are not here to judge women. We're about to wrap up, guys. Be with us. We're not here to judge women. We are decoding them, because every woman, the careless, the sophisticated, the tomboy, the church girl, the modest, the gothic, the free-spirited, is revealing a spiritual fingerprint through her appearance. And many blend of categories. This sophisticated woman may also be free-spirited, right? So sometimes we have a woman is sophisticated, but she's free-spirited. That's even a bad combo, because you're free-spirited and want to go all over the place, and then you're sophisticated at the same time. You find those girls, right? A church girl may also be gothic on the inside, right? A church girl could be, you see, she's a church girl, but she dressed in dark and she got a heavy spirit. She got something going on with her, and it reflects. A modest woman may also be demanding. A tomboy may also hide deep hurt. Discernment is required. So we're not saying it's a fit-all situation, but we're saying it's a general statement on what has been studied in through behavioral science. So every woman's appearance is a prophecy, and every man who ignores that prophecy walks blindly into suffering he never prayed for. Today, we have to open our eyes, sharpen our discernment, and read the signs that the Most High placed right in front of us. So this is our Strongmen Club study tonight. Very important lesson for all men everywhere. So now, brothers, tell me what style you like the most among all these styles, especially when you did not come to the truth yet. And what did you learn today about this lesson?
Strong minds build kingdoms, no cracks in our throne.
I can describe any particular person not what I noticed. The early signs of trouble, right? And different things that women do will tell you a whole lot about them. And this is why, for example, when you're looking at each of system, they look at different things that can give them more detail about certain things, right? So likewise, if you look at a woman, you see how she talk. Maybe not even dressed in the first place. It's just there's certain things they say will tell you a lot about them, right? For example, I have this lady at the job, and I was talking to her, and I said, "Oh wow, so your daughter, does she have a boyfriend?" And she's like, "Well, I think she's interested in different things, but I already know what that means.
Right.
That means she's set up the girl to be a lesbian." So I didn't need to hear more of that. As long as you say she's interested in different things. What does that mean?
Right.
You know? So it's like those little things, for example, words or the way they dress, the way they act. And even when you see, sometimes they act like they're church girls, so innocent, so this and that, they could be wicked as hell. So it's like a combination of things. And obviously, as someone who's spiritually discerned, someone who's really who believes in the Most High, you will see those little signs that could tell you, there's a lot of craziness going on, or a lot of trouble might be brewing on the horizon.
Right. Minister Cannon, you had something, Khan. All praise.
I never attract tomboy, and also whenever I see them, I say, yeah. But I know their appearance in women. The women that wear booty short, most of the time, they have tattoo all over the thighs, or they have tattoo in the body. Those women, even you think they Christian, they have to show the tattoo, especially women that have tattoo, because I come across a lot of women like that. When they put tattoo, even you see they in high position, they act like they like good women, but when they dress certain way to go certain occasion, they dress a certain way because I don't know the spirit. They have to show what they put in the body.
Yeah, that's
especially they want to put tattoo in tie. They want that put tattoo. What you call that? Almost like by.
Walking like a king, heart steady like a drum. One king's two. That's where I'm coming from. Be strong, stand tall, let the world understand. Wisdom in my veins, gotta show myself a man. Strong man.
That's why about a lot of them. They actually just be most of them in the church to just cover of the wicked. So you can think they actually you. So one of them I know was with a man who was gonna marry the man, and he was sleeping with another. And he tells them to wait till they get married to sleep together. But he was sleeping with another, and she got it.
wow. Yeah, this is
got it.
right. So when you're living double life, even in spiritual walk, right? You both for the Most High, but you're not fully in really walking the right path. those church girls are really the most confused. They're most secretive too, right? Because they're living in confusion and all that causes them to really live that double life, right? So now the question I have for you, brothers, do we feel like men really don't care about how women dress anymore? Or, based on how they're choosing these days, do you think they care? I mean, back then, men used to really care about how women dress before they would even enter your family. But do you feel like men lost that care, and why do you think so? Why do men lose care about how women dress and just be with any woman nowadays?
I can tell you, if a man decides not to care about how female that he's courting, that he's talking to, he doesn't care about how she dressed, then it's gonna be to his own demise. And the reason why I say that is, if in the very beginning you can't set the rules, you can't set the record straight, you can't define, because you have to have an input on how to do. You have to have a say on what she wears. The same way she might give you an advice on what you wear, but you have to say and be able to tell her, I don't like it. At the very beginning, good luck with that. She's gonna walk around and some men gonna look at her, you're gonna get mad, you're gonna get fight, somebody's gonna shoot you in the head. All of that because the man didn't think that was important to establish in the very beginning. So he's on demise, obviously.
Yes, Minister Cannon, why do you think men stop caring about how women dress and because oftentimes you walk around, you see a man with his girlfriend and what she's wearing, and yet these men will be like, what you looking at? But like, brother, how you let your wife come out like this? So why men stop caring about how women dress and just be with these women?
Yeah, there's two things. Because they want that actually their wife walk in a type of way. Most of the time, that their wife is the head of the house. You don't tell me what to wear, and and they lost after her. They don't want to leave. They're scared to. And the one that don't have a husband and that walk any type of way, and they fight with men that actually lost after them, that lacking. Some of them even say, when I dress, it matters. Nobody say I have good body. No, nobody say I look good. When I dress like that, I find more men tell me, okay, you look good. I find more men want. So why you call that? They're in the market. So what men want, that's why they gonna wear. So that's why you see a lot of women. They find a lot of weak men that actually say, oh, a lot of men that lost after them. Whenever they wear something, yeah, you look good. What's up? That's why you see a lot of them wearing certain things.
But why do you think men stop caring? Because there was a time we cared. You know what I'm saying? We didn't. There was a time where men was really looking for women to with and marry with. So now it feels like men are just living with lust.
Oh yeah. What happened? I can say because of the mad, the TV. The TV promote more of those things. And the model too also, and everywhere in the internet. That's why you see. You barely see a woman with the, like what you call that, with a normal dress. A lot of men now they say, okay, that's normal. And when you go to the beach, all you see is like women bikini everywhere. It's just like you see more women naked than women that can become like men wash, men take that's no. But some men always gonna say, okay, yeah, it's not normal, but majority says normal, so they must take the ritual.
So what you're saying is, Esau have normalized nakedness, and then now men really think, oh, that's what a normal wife should look like.
Yes, because why I said that, every commercial you see about beach, you see about like swimsuit, every commercial you see about the backyard, every single commercial you see about like having fun, you see a woman almost half naked. So the old men that used to care, they're going away now. So the new generation, that's all they see is nakedness. And when you try and say, okay, this is not normal, they say you ancient, you old, you too old. Yeah, it's normal. And even at the beach, when you say, okay, please, I don't want you to wear that swimsuit, they say those people don't know me. Right. But why you try and wear a swimsuit
in front of stranger,
in front of stranger, and you wear the same thing inside the house? Right. Why you don't work all the time with why you call that with a bikini? Because you think it's not apple. Why you call that apple, right? But you can wear it in front of thousands of people at the beach, and so that's why it's normal. That.
Yeah, man. I mean, I do think you're right on that end. So today it's normalized that to a lot of men nowadays, when they see a woman dressing with short skirt, they really confuse that for modesty. They confuse that as a good wife, but not knowing the nakedness of the outside reflect the nakedness of the heart. Because if someone is walking naked, it simply means the heart is also naked, meaning void of knowledge and wisdom and understanding. And as we can see, brothers, what contributing heavy to the void, and we see black men saying bad women, there's no good wife, there's no good women, because we're not looking at the first sign, which is the screen of the man, which is our. So, brothers, thank you for being in this show tonight. We hope we learned a lot. As we continue to grow, please share the video to the young ones. Our people do need that those kind of things, so we can get our nation back in track. So, thank you for participating. Thank you for share.
One brick at a time. Strong minds build kingdoms, no cracks in the throne. Wise man stands firm, even when he's alone. They hate to see us rise, but the fire's in my soul, dominating the world. Yeah, I will set the goal. Blood of kings in my veins, unshakable force. Guided by the scriptures, I'm staying the course. Without strong men, no family can thrive. We the backbone of the world, keeping hope alive.